These family photos were taken during a camping trip in July 1998. The two pictures were taken only seconds apart. At first they seemed completely ordinary, but years later, while looking through the old photos, the granddaughter noticed something strange behind a white car parked near the tree line. A tall, pale figure appeared to be standing in the background of the first image. In the second photo, taken just moments later, it was gone. The family was never able to let go of the question, what was with them that night? A YouTuber secretly recorded a strange gathering outside CERN, the European Particle Physics Laboratory in Switzerland, best known for operating the Large Hadron Collider, the world's largest particle accelerator. For years, the facility has been surrounded by conspiracy theories claiming it is opening portals, experimenting with other dimensions, or hiding secret rituals. The footage showed several people wearing dark robes standing in a circle near CERN's Shiva statue. The person filming fled the scene, and after the video was uploaded, countless theories began circulating, claiming the footage exposed a hidden ritual connected to CERN. CERN later stated that the incident was simply an unauthorized prank carried out by employees and was not an official activity. But that explanation still felt a little suspicious to many people. On May 9, 2026, the creator of the YouTube channel A Fisherman's Life set out on what was supposed to be an ordinary fishing trip with a friend.
If I get another fish on, but I don't land it, then I'll start using the indicator. Let's do a first cast close. If there's fish, they'll come up and get it too. Come on, baby. And I'm going out to the more fishy area now.
After trying several different fishing spots, they decided to explore farther down the river. That's when they noticed something unusual lying on the riverbank. At first, they weren't sure what they were looking at, but the longer they examined it, the more it appeared to be a human bone.
But what is this? Dang, if that doesn't look like a human bone, huh?
It does, Joe.
If I touch it, will I get cursed?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Only one way to find out.
All right. Just to give you a sense of the scale. Huh.
Put it next to your leg.
Would it be...
Other way. There you go.
It would be a...
Kneecap. Dude, that looks like a human.
Dang.
I think so. It'd be right here under my kneecap is where it would start. Yeah. Dude, that's a human bone. I'm not even kidding, dude.
Unsure what to do, the YouTuber continued the trip before contacting the local sheriff's office after returning home and providing investigators with the footage he had recorded.
Sheriff's office.
Hi, I was fishing in the South Fork of the American River on Saturday and pretty far out into the river, and I came across what I think is a human tibia, but I'm not sure. I just wanted to report that.
Okay, so you were fishing in the South Fork of the American River?
That's right.
And you think you came across a human tibia?
That's what it looks like. I asked my friend who was an EMT and he's a nurse, and I asked a couple people and they said that that's what it looks like. And I was making a fishing video, so I have it all on camera. I have pictures that I could share if there's a number I could message. And yeah.
After reviewing the video, detectives confirmed the bone was human and asked him to return to the location so it could be collected as evidence. Authorities have not released any additional information about the investigation or whether the remains were connected to a missing person. The questions remain: who did the bone belong to, and how did it end up lying beside that remote river? A man working the night shift at an undisclosed port heard something that immediately caught his attention. It sounded like someone screaming somewhere in the distance. The sound seemed so clear that he couldn't convince himself it was normal. Concerned that someone might be in danger, he returned on another night to investigate. Once again, he recorded similar cries echoing through the port. When he mentioned it to his co-workers, they told him the sounds were likely coming from faulty equipment or machinery, but he wasn't convinced. Fearing for his own safety, he never revealed which port the recordings came from. Some believed the sounds had a perfectly ordinary explanation. Others think they pointed to something far more disturbing, like human trafficking. But in my opinion, it doesn't sound like a human scream. What do you think? Someone recorded a strange clip of a glowing ball of light hovering among the branches of a tall tree. According to locals, sightings like this aren't unusual. They claim the mysterious light appears from time to time, lingering in the same area before eventually disappearing again. Over the years, the repeated sightings have sparked plenty of theories. Some believe it's simply a natural phenomenon that hasn't been identified yet, while others are convinced it's something paranormal, describing it as a guardian spirit or even a deity watching over the area. A warehouse worker in Peru recorded a strange clip while working alone during the night. He said he suddenly heard what sounded like a little girl calling out from somewhere inside the building. Thinking someone had entered, he searched the warehouse but found nothing except empty aisles and storage containers. Later, he shared a photo taken that same night. In it, what appears to be the figure of a young girl can be seen standing in front of one of the containers. Some say they see a black cat and a white cat sitting quietly beside her. According to local stories, the warehouse is believed to be haunted by the spirit of a young girl. This might be proof. This photo was taken during a fraternity party in 2013 and continued to spark debate years after it was captured. According to the story, current residents had heard rumors that the house was once used as a tuberculosis home, although they could only verify records dating back to 1921. Later, former fraternity members visited and asked if anyone had experienced strange activity on the third floor or in the attic. After hearing that some residents had reported uneasy feelings and unexplained footsteps, they showed them an old party photo. Standing behind two of the students appeared to be an unknown face. They claimed no one else had been there when the photo was taken, and that the figure wasn't noticed until the next morning. Whether the story is true or fake, the image is still absolutely terrifying. A 15-year-old girl was walking in Keene when a 28-year-old man named Carlos Alonso Cuevas Ruiz tried to force her into his SUV. Fortunately, a passing driver named Cody Rado saw what was happening, stopped to help, and pulled the girl to safety. When she told him the man had tried to kidnap her, Cody chased the suspect's truck to get the license plate. Home security footage helped police identify and quickly arrest the suspect. The outcome would have been different if he hadn't stepped in. TikTok user 99%Angel shared a clip their father recorded while filming fireworks. A formation in the clouds appeared to resemble a human face, complete with visible eyes, a nose, and what looked like a sad expression. Although it's most likely just a simple case of pareidolia, it's fascinating how our brains naturally recognize familiar patterns where none actually exist. A family was gathered around a bonfire at the end of Hatteras Island, North Carolina, when one of them took a photo. Nothing seemed unusual at the time, but after looking through the pictures later, they noticed something strange standing near the group. The dark figure hadn't been seen when the photo was taken. Even more unusual, several family members' faces appeared blurred in the same image, despite the rest of the photo remaining relatively clear. Some joked that it was the ghost of the pirate Blackbeard, whose legend is closely tied to the Outer Banks. Others think the figure and blurred faces were simply the result of motion blur. But the family was adamant that no one else had been standing there when the photo was taken. So what was it? A man was recording a lively night out on a busy street. Nothing seemed unusual at the time, but while reviewing the footage later, he noticed something he had completely missed. A man suddenly stepped out from between two moving trucks in the middle of the road. He calmly walked away as if nothing had happened, showing no sign of panic despite the traffic around him. The timing made it appear as though he had emerged from nowhere. Maybe it was just a trick of perspective caused by passing trucks, but it still seems hard to explain. How is that even possible? While driving late one night, two men came across something they never expected and quickly snapped this photo. Standing silently beside the road was a woman, dressed entirely in white, appearing to hold something in her hands. Curious, I zoomed in to see what she was holding. To my surprise, she was holding an important message. Well, I think this is the perfect time for everyone watching to subscribe to the channel and become part of the MM family. Now that that's taken care of, let's get into a real story. A group of women were enjoying a boat ride across a lake when they spotted this thing. What looked like the head and open mouth of a long, dark creature. Most of its body remained hidden beneath the surface, making it impossible to tell exactly what they were looking at. From their perspective, it appeared much longer than an ordinary fish. Some suggested it resembled the descriptions of legendary lake monsters reported around the world. Others identified it as a pike. Two friends were filming a vlog while driving along a quiet road through the cornfields of rural Brazil when they spotted a woman standing in the middle of the road. She didn't step aside or react as they approached. Concerned, the two got out to see if she needed help, but she never said a word.
E agora? Não, ela é uma mulher normal, Elton.
As they got closer, they noticed dark stains on her dress. At first, I thought it might be a scarecrow, not only to scare birds, but also people. But then she turned and slowly walked toward an old abandoned farmhouse.
Oxe.
One of the men claimed he had seen the same woman there during an earlier visit, so they decided to follow her. But by the time they reached the farmhouse, she was gone.
No dia que alguém tava molhado. Oi!
They searched the property and even looked through the surrounding cornfield, but found no sign of her. Would you even go looking for her? This footage was shared by Reddit user DrySelection421. While returning home one night, the person noticed something unusual hovering outside their house. A dark figure appeared to be floating silently in the darkness. Some viewers were convinced the footage captured something genuinely unexplained. Others weren't so sure. Many pointed out that with modern editing software and AI-generated videos becoming increasingly convincing, it's harder than ever to determine what's real and what isn't. Without additional footage or context, it's impossible to know what was really captured that night. A woman had been outside taking pictures of her son playing when she noticed something disturbing after looking through the photos. The first image appeared completely normal, but in the next one, what looked like an elderly woman's hand could be seen reaching into the frame from behind the child. She claimed there was no one standing nearby when the pictures were taken, making the hand difficult to explain. Where did that hand come from? Would this freak you out? During a 4th of July party in southwest Ohio, people suddenly stopped what they were doing after noticing something unusual above a nearby thunderstorm. A bright light appeared to flicker and sweep across the top of the cloud, changing in a way that left everyone confused.
What the heck?
Many wondered whether they were looking at a UFO or some other unexplained phenomenon. However, there may be a much simpler explanation. The display closely resembled a crown flash, an extremely rare atmospheric phenomenon that can occur above powerful thunderstorms. Scientists believe these flashes are caused when lightning rapidly changes the electric field inside the storm, causing sunlight reflecting off tiny ice crystals high above the cloud to shimmer and flash in dramatic patterns. Because the conditions have to be almost perfect, most people will never witness a crown flash in their lifetime. Reddit user LatissimusDorsey26 shared a video from a farmer demonstrating something most people never want to experience. Standing beside what appeared to be only a few inches of shallow water, he slowly stepped in. Almost immediately, leeches began emerging from the muddy bottom and attaching themselves to his boot. Within seconds, dozens of them had covered the boot, clinging tightly as he remained standing in the water. The disturbing footage left many viewers shocked by just how quickly the leeches appeared. People pointed out that leeches are extremely sensitive to movement, body heat, and vibrations in the water, allowing them to detect potential hosts with surprising speed. Fortunately, the thick leather boots prevented them from attaching directly to his skin. Veteran climbing guide Dawa Sherpa was feared dead after disappearing while descending Mount Everest in May 2026. After successfully reaching the summit, the experienced guide was last seen above Camp 3 at an altitude of roughly 7,500 meters or 24,600 feet, one of the most dangerous sections of the mountain. Another climber later recalled seeing Dawa stop to rest beside the route. When asked if he was alright, Dawa simply replied, "Yes, go ahead." Believing he would soon catch up, the others continued their descent. He never did. Search teams spent the following days looking for any sign of him, but at that altitude, where oxygen levels are only a fraction of those at sea level, surviving alone for even a single night is considered extremely unlikely. As the days passed without any trace of Dawa, many climbers accepted that he had most likely died on the mountain. His wife even performed last rites for him, believing she would never see him again. Then, 6 days after he disappeared, something extraordinary happened. A cleanup crew working their way through the Khumbu icefall noticed movement ahead. To their disbelief, Dawa Sherpa was still alive. Weak, frostbitten, and exhausted, he was slowly sliding and crawling his way toward base camp completely on his own. Against every expectation, he had somehow survived nearly a week alone on Everest. Expedition leaders described the rescue as nothing short of a miracle. They believe Dawa may have survived by sheltering inside abandoned tents left on the mountain, although exactly how he endured those 6 days remains unknown. This clip was filmed during a funeral in Ireland in 1966, but something about this footage seems off. Take a look. In the background, a strange figure appears to run past at incredible speed. It's hard to tell what it was exactly, but it doesn't really look like a person. Some suggested it was simply a bird flying by, with its wings blurred by the old film, but I'm not convinced. To this day, despite all the speculation, no one knows what it was. Drivers were traveling along Interstate 65 near Birmingham, Alabama, when they noticed something drifting through the sky. A large dark object with long, thin strands hanging beneath it floated silently above the highway, prompting several motorists to stop and record it. Many dismissed it as AI generated or digitally altered. But the story changed after veteran meteorologist James Spann confirmed that multiple people had reported seeing the object near Warrior, Alabama. He also stated that it didn't appear to be a known weather phenomenon. That left people searching for other explanations. Some people suggested it was a cluster of tangled balloons or wind-blown debris. Others weren't convinced. To this day, no confirmed explanation has been given for what drifted across the Alabama sky that afternoon. A group of beachgoers made a bizarre discovery while exploring a cave along the shoreline. Deep inside the cave opening was an abandoned car, tightly wedged between the rocks. The position of the vehicle immediately raised questions. There was no obvious signs of how it had gotten there, and no one was found inside. Authorities eventually managed to remove the car from the cave, but that only solved part of the mystery. No clear explanation was ever given for how a full-sized vehicle ended up trapped so high above the beach in the first place. What story was behind it that was never uncovered? A man was paddling alone across the ocean while a drone quietly recorded his journey from above. Everything seemed completely normal, until the aerial footage revealed something he never knew was there. A massive dark shadow was moving beneath his kayak. Completely unaware, the man continued paddling as though nothing had happened. Many viewers believed it was most likely a whale or another large marine animal traveling below the surface. Others argued the shadow lacked any clear features, making it impossible to identify with certainty. Some even compared it to the legendary Megalodon, although there is no evidence supporting that theory. Whatever was swimming beneath that kayak, it was large enough to cast an enormous shadow beneath the surface. A man named Howard Silvers was driving along a quiet highway near Nevada when he noticed something extraordinary hovering above the road. Looking up, he saw what appeared to be a massive triangular object suspended silently in the sky. According to Howard, it remained completely motionless, with no visible means of propulsion and no sound whatsoever. He quickly began recording as the object continued hovering above the highway. The footage quickly spread online, leaving viewers divided. Some believed it could have been a classified military aircraft or another experimental vehicle. Others argued it was simply the result of visual effects or AI-generated footage. Curious, I ran the video through an AI analysis tool. According to the results, the footage received an estimated 1% probability of being AI-generated. Of course, AI detection tools aren't definitive proof of authenticity, and they can be wrong. To this day, no official evidence has confirmed the existence of a seeker triangular aircraft matching reports like this. So what was hovering above that highway? While visiting a Buddhist temple in China, someone took this photo. But when they later reviewed it back at their hotel, they spotted something they couldn't explain. Hovering in the sky was a distant object that appeared almost human in shape, with what looked like a halo surrounding its head. Not knowing how to explain it, they posted the image online. One commenter suggested it could simply be a bird captured at an unusual angle while diving through the air, with the halo being caused by motion blur. I guess that makes sense, but I can imagine how confusing it must have been at first. Someone recorded this strange clip from across the street. It showed what looked like a long pink creature sticking out of a hole in the wall. Its smooth, glossy appearance made it look less like an animal and more like something from a movie. Do you think it was a real creature? Personally, I think it was probably CGI or AI. A man named Randy Ayer was at a truck stop in California when something caught his attention in the sky. He quickly pulled out his phone and began recording what he believed was a UFO moving overhead in broad daylight.
Here's the truck stop. You don't believe in UFOs? Look at that man. A f***ing UFO flying around this morning.
Unlike many sightings captured at night, the object was visible against a bright sky. But that doesn't necessarily mean this one is real. That will always be something almost impossible to determine. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you'll love this next one.